You've heard it in a movie, at a party, maybe the radio at 3 in the morning, one riff, one line, and suddenly you're there. These are the 15 tracks that ruled the 1990s and still hit like a punch to the chest. So buckle up, and let's see if your favorite made the list, or if we missed one you'll never forgive us for. Released as the lead single from their 7th album, Out of Time, this track became Rem's most iconic hit. Despite its unusual structure and lack of a traditional chorus, it found massive success on both alternative and mainstream charts. The song was built around a mandolin riff, which gave it a distinct and haunting texture that stood out completely in the early 90s rock scene. The lyrics revolve around doubt, obsession, and inner conflict, drawing from Southern phrases like losing my religion, which means losing one's temper or patience. The ambiguity of the song's meaning fueled curiosity and helped it stay relevant in conversations about emotional songwriting. The music video, rich with religious and mythological imagery, received heavy rotation on MTV, contributing to the track's impact. It won multiple awards and helped catapult Rem from indie darlings to global figures in alternative rock. Written during a period of personal isolation, Anthony Kiedis penned the lyrics as a poem before it became one of the band's most vulnerable and successful tracks. Under the Bridge was a departure from their usual funk rock sound. Its melancholic tone and introspective lyrics struck a chord with a much broader audience. The song's themes revolve around loneliness, urban disconnect, and the longing for human connection. Its soft build-up, melodic guitar line by John Frusciante, and eventual choir-backed climax gave it a cinematic arc that few songs from the band had attempted before. It climbed the Billboard Hot 100 to peak at number 2 and became one of the defining songs of the decade. The track also played a critical role in cementing the band's mainstream breakthrough with their album Blood Sugar Sex Magik. This explosive single from the album Dookie brought Green Day into the spotlight and gave pop-punk a new global platform. Billy Joe Armstrong wrote the lyrics during a period of undiagnosed anxiety, which translated into a fast-paced, raw confession that resonated with youth across the world. The track balances manic energy with catchy melodies, making it both relatable and incredibly infectious. With lines about confusion, insomnia, and distrust, it captured the chaotic internal monologue of a restless generation. Basket Case dominated alternative radio and MTV, helping Dookie sell over 10 million copies in the United States alone. It remains one of the band's most played and recognizable tracks. Ever screamed every word to this song at full volume? You're not alone. Drop your favorite Green Day moment in the comments. Originally recorded as a low-budget demo, Loser was never meant to become a hit. Beck mixed Delta blues guitar with a drum loop and nonsensical lyrics, laying down verses in a stream of consciousness style. The chorus, delivered in Spanish-accented English, was a spontaneous line Beck used to mock his own rapping skills. The track's slacker energy, offbeat rhythm, and ironic detachment struck a nerve with Generation X. It blended folk, hip-hop, and alternative rock into something that didn't fit any existing mold. Released on Bong Load Records and later picked up by a major label, Loser peaked at number 10 on the Billboard Hot 100. It also became a defining anthem of 90s counterculture, solidifying Beck's image as an anti-star. Pearl Jam's debut single Alive introduced the world to Eddie Vedder's voice and the band's emotionally charged storytelling. The song was based on a personal narrative Vedder wrote after learning about the identity of his biological father, blending real life with myth-like drama. Its central guitar riff, written by Stone Gossard, was recorded before Vedder even joined the band. Once lyrics were added, it took on a new dimension, becoming a power anthem with themes of confusion, survival, and identity. Although it didn't chart high initially, Alive became a cornerstone of Pearl Jam's live shows and a symbol of their early sound. Over time, fans reinterpreted the song's narrative from a tragic revelation to an empowering statement of endurance. Released as the lead single from Nevermind, this track shattered expectations and shifted the direction of rock music overnight. Written by Kurt Cobain, Chris Novoselic, and Dave Grohl, it was fueled by distorted guitars, shifting dynamics, and Cobain's cryptic but emotionally charged lyrics. The song wasn't intended to be a revolution, but it became one. MTV put it into heavy rotation, and it brought grunge out of Seattle and into the global spotlight. Its explosive intro, quiet verse, loud chorus formula, and rebellious tone became an instant blueprint for a new era of rock. Also, it reached number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100 and top charts worldwide. Written by Noel Gallagher, Wonderwall was originally intended as a love song with a title inspired by a George Harrison solo album. The track featured Liam Gallagher's distinctive voice over a minimalist acoustic arrangement, which set it apart from the band's louder, Britpop-driven sound. Built around a simple chord progression and layered with cello and tambourine, the song's production created an intimate atmosphere. Its lyrics, although vague, hinted at emotional dependence and unspoken hope, which allowed listeners to project their own meanings onto it. Wonderwall became the first song by a British band to reach number 1 on the US Modern Rock Tracks chart and earned Oasis international recognition. It remains one of the most covered songs of all time and a staple of acoustic performances everywhere. You know it, you've sung it, maybe too many times. What's the one song you always grab the guitar for? Let us know in the comment. Clocking in at just 2 minutes and 2 seconds, Song 2 was written as a parody of American grunge. Ironically, it became Blur's biggest hit in the United States. Its distorted guitars, explosive dynamics, and nonsensical woohoo chorus gave it instant appeal. Damon Albarn and guitarist Graham Coxon pushed the band's Britpop identity into heavier territory with this track. Despite its simplicity, the song hit hard, both sonically and culturally. It was used in countless commercials, video games, and films, making it almost omnipresent during the late 90s. The track reached number 6 on the UK singles chart and broke into the Billboard Modern Rock Top 10. Built around a sample from a symphonic version of a Rolling Stones track, Bittersweet Symphony became the Verve's signature song and a defining anthem of late 90s British rock. Its orchestral loop and layered instrumentation gave it a grandeur rarely heard in rock at the time. The lyrics by Richard Ashcroft reflected themes of existential frustration, consumer culture, and emotional weariness. With its steady beat and sweeping strings, the track captured a mix of beauty and disillusionment that resonated globally. Though legal disputes over the sample overshadowed its commercial success for years, the song charted worldwide and has since been acknowledged as a milestone in British alternative music. Skin makes me cry, but I'm a creep. Creep was Radiohead's breakout single, first released to limited attention and then reissued after gaining traction through radio play. Written by Tom York while he was a university student, the song explores alienation and self-doubt, themes that would become central to the band's identity. The quiet verses contrasted with loud, distorted guitar blasts right before each chorus, creating a jarring dynamic that echoed the lyrics' emotional swings. Johnny Greenwood's aggressive guitar hits were originally intended to sabotage the track, but ended up defining its unique sound. Though initially banned by some UK stations for being too bleak, it became a global hit and propelled Pablo Honey into the charts. Despite Radiohead later distancing themselves from the song, it remains a fan favorite and a symbol of 90s alternative vulnerability.
In disguises no one knows.
Written by frontman Chris Cornell in a single afternoon, Black Hole Sunday became Soundgarden's most recognized track. Its swirling melodies and surreal lyrics offered a psychedelic twist on the heavier grunge sound the band was known for. The result was haunting and hypnotic. The song blended odd time signatures, unusual chord shapes, and a heavily layered mix to create a dreamy yet eerie atmosphere. Cornell's vocal performance stretched from hushed introspection to powerful wails, giving the song its emotional range. While it only reached number 24 on the Billboard Hot 100, it dominated rock radio and won a Grammy for Best Hard Rock Performance. Opening with one of the most recognizable riffs in rock history, Enter Sandman marked Metallica's move toward a more mainstream sound. It was the first single from their self-titled album, often called the Black Album, and it brought their music to a wider audience without losing their heavy edge. The lyrics played on childhood fears and nightmares, with metaphors tied to sleep and loss of control. The production, led by Bob Rock, added a cleaner, more radio-friendly polish to the band's signature style. The song reached number 16 on the Billboard Hot 100 and became a staple in sports arenas and pop culture. Written by Dave Grohl during a burst of creativity after a breakup, Everlong became one of Foo Fighters' most beloved songs. Its powerful blend of emotional vulnerability and sonic intensity struck a perfect balance between grunge roots and melodic rock. The song was recorded during the band's second album, The Color and the Shape, with Grohl playing most of the instruments himself. The layers of guitar and dynamic shifts create a hypnotic feel, while the lyrics tap into the idea of losing yourself in a moment so completely, it feels endless. Though it only reached number 18 on the US Modern Rock chart, it became a lasting anthem, especially after its iconic live acoustic version. And just like that, you've been hit with 15 tracks that didn't just soundtrack a decade, they defined it. Some were loud, some were strange, some whispered more than they screamed, but every single one left a mark that's still echoing today. Now it's your turn. Which of these songs still hits the hardest for you? Did we miss one that should have been here? Drop your favorite rock track from the 1990s in the comments, the one that takes you straight back, no matter how many years go by. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming next. We've got way more music stories headed your way.